Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Mithravat. This is our first video. We are starting the DSA series for practicing the DSA question for the interview preparation. So you are preparing for the interview and solving the question. We are solving the question by brute force method to the optimal solution. So do subscribe our channel. So from today we are starting our DSA preparation sheet, which are by the GFC TCS and QT preparation sheet 2026. In this, they gives us the number of questions on the different types of DSA, like array, string, number series, conversion, and many more. So we are starting our first question, that is on based on the array. Without wasting too much time, we start our preparation. So first question is that non-repeating element. So consider a scenario which are I solve before it. We start from scratch. Consider a scenario in which your interviewer asks you the question like find the first non-repeating element in an array. In our mind, what we are thinking about, we are taking first loop in which we consider a one point and check whether the element are present in further array. Like we see here. Okay, got it. So we are thinking about that considering an array like 1, 2, minus 1, 3, 2, and we take our first element as minus 1. Then we check whether 2 is equals to minus 1 is equals to 2, 3 is equals to minus 1, 2 is equals to minus 1, and check which element are present multiple time, means more than one time, two time, and which element are singly present. So what is in we are do in our brute force method, we simply check whether the one are check with the other element, like with the 2 no, minus 1 yes, which is present, 3 no, 2 no. So we check it with the multiple element, then we check 2 present, yes, 2 is present, then we check minus 1 is already present, and then we are on the 3, whether the 3 is present, yes, but only the one time. So the 3 is our non-repeating element. But this is the brute force method. The time complexity is first loop O of n, second loop O of n, then multiply this. This is our brute force method. What we are do? This is our first loop. This is our first loop, and inside this loop there is another loop. So the time complexity become O of n square because it multiply. That's why the time complexity is increases. So we are thinking about some optimal solution. For that, what we are do, we check it is an array. Yet it is an array 1, 2, minus 1, 3, 2. We store its frequency, the number of time it present. We check minus 1, yes, minus 1, the frequency initially. Then we check here we consider it minus 1. This is minus 1. Okay, minus 1, how many time currently is present? One time. So we stored in frequency, one time it present. Then what's the next element? 2. Element is 2. How many time it present now? Only one time. So 1. Then another next element is minus 1. We check whether minus 1 is already present in our hash map. Yes, minus 1 is already present. What is the frequency before? 1. So we cancel it and stored means we increase by 1. So we store 2. Okay. Then we check 3 is present in our hash map. No, 3 is not present. Then we add 3. This is our 3 and store frequency as initially plus 1 means 1. Then we check 2. 2 is present in our hash map. Yes, 2 is present. How many time before? One time. Then we increase by 1. Then what now it become? It become 2. Now our index are out of the array, so we stop it. After stopping, what we are doing, we again initialize our for loop and check the frequency, the number of time the particular number is present. Then we check, whether our minus one, how many times the minus one is present. Minus one is present two times. Okay, so we move to the next element. So the next element is two. So check 2. How many times the 2 is present? 2. 2 is present 2 times. Okay. Then what we are doing? Minus 1 we already checked. Then we check 3. Then we check minus 1 is already 2 times present. Then we check 3. How many times the 3 is present? Now we are on a loop. If the frequency of number is equals to the 1 time, then we say that this is the first non-repeating element. So understand how we have find it. Firstly, we created a hash map. The number and its number of time is frequency, means how many times the particular number is present. What we are doing, suppose minus one is here, minus one right we here. How many time it present? Firstly, it present one time only. Then we are go to the next element. Array plus one means first index, that is two. Two. How many time is present currently? Only one time. Then what we are doing? Checking the minus one. Yes, minus one is present already in the map. Yes. What we are doing? Frequency plus plus. Already the minus has one has a frequency one. So we increase the frequency by one. So what we are doing it plus one, that is become the two. Then we are checking the three. Then we check the two. Then we check the three. Then we check the three. What is there? Three is present in hash map already. No, three is not present. That's why we insert 3 in the num and frequency 0 to 1. Means firstly initially it is 0, so it become the 1. Then we take 2, 2 it become the 2. So this is our first for loop. So for hash map we created a loop for storing the element. Just for what? Just for hash map. Just for hash map. What we are doing next, we create another loop. In this loop, what we are doing, we check the number is present one time or more than one time. If the element which are less than one, sorry, not less than one, which are present one time, then we write the array index. Array index means ARR of 1. Or what is ARR of 1? That is the 3. We are doing our code now. What we are using? What is our first step? We first step is our hash map. In this hash map, what we are doing, we store the frequency. And what is our second step? Second step is another for loop. In this we check which element are present one time, means first non-repeating element. So we create an unordered map for storing the frequency. Both are of integer type, that's why we take int. We give the name frequency map. Okay, we created a for loop. Int I equals to 0 to I is less than array dot size. Okay, array dot size, then I plus plus. Then we have to store the frequency map ARR of I plus plus. Okay, then we take another loop. So these are our step 1, store frequency. This is our step 2, check first non repeating element. First non-repeating element means, what is mean by first non-repeating element? The element which are present only one time. So we initialize our for loop int of I equals to 0, I is less than ARR of size, I plus plus. Then we check if frequency map ARR of I is equals to 1, then we have to return 3. Means we have to return the value inside the array. Sometime the evaluator asks return the index on which the first non-repeating element present. Here they ask about first non-repeating element itself. We are writing ARR of right. And what the condition says, the array not contain not 0. And if there is no present, we are returning 0. There is 0. Return 0 if not present. So we are returning 0. Okay. So we compile, we check it. So okay, our code is run. So successfully we are passing our all the test cases. Now we discuss about the time complexity. In this brute force method, what it is? It is the brute force method. Brute force method. What is the time complexity of this method? This is not optimal solution. This is an O of n square time complexity. It is. So by which for loop first time another for loop inside. That's why its complexity become the O of n square. But using the hash map, we are solving by using the different two for loop. So if there is a complexity O of n plus O of n, so our time complexity become O of our time complexity for this will come O of n time complexity O of n. So thank you for watching video. Please do subscribe our channel and stay connected with us for more videos. Thank you.